We are all out here likely hearing the same thing. Dating is ghetto. There's pee in the dating pool. It's trash out here. And it's really easy to accept that. And it's even harder to decide that you want better and are willing to wait and accept that better when it comes. And I have chosen to create my own reality around dating, and specifically dating as a woman with her own bag, because there's a level of confidence, there's a level of self-assuredness that comes with that, and it makes it easier for you to decipher what's for you versus what's not. So let's talk about it on this video. Let's talk about 3 things you should consider as a woman with her own bag, her own desires, her own vision for her life, that I want you to hold closely with you as you continue to date and experience amazing men, because that's what I'm claiming for you. So let's get into it. But before we do, hey girl, hey, or hey boy, hey, because there are a lot of guys that watch my channel. My name is Jocelyn, and I teach Black women how to save more and spend wisely with the 9-to-5 income that you earn, so that you can avoid debt, avoid carrying large credit card balances from month to month, avoid all these second jobs and all this additional stuff, and actually learn how to use your 9-to-5 income more strategically. So in this video, again, we're going to talk about dating. Dating as a woman with your own bag, and some strategies and some things I want you to think through as you continue to embrace these experiences. That's what I like to say. So just a little backstory for me, and I don't like to tell a lot of my business, but I'm single right now, so I'm happy to do it. So I have personally, met some amazing men on my dating journey. And I don't personally feel like the dating pool has pee in it. Now, have I met some weirdos? Yeah. But I feel like most recently I've dated some really nice guys, and I've engaged with some really nice guys. And I think that is a result of the work that I've done on myself. So that leads me to point 1, and that is to create core values for yourself. Now, they don't have to be the kind of core values you'll see at like a McDonald's and stuff. Like, they can be authentic and unique to you, like it doesn't have to be like 3 words. It can be a statement. It can be a phrase that just connects to you, and your desires. And so for me, I've done those for myself, and I've even done those for the partner that I desire to attract and align with. And I feel like he's getting closer. I don't know. I feel like he's getting closer, but I'm single, okay? And so for me, I know, and just to give an example, that I need a kind and gentle man. Like, I need a man who's going to be gentle with me, but also somebody who's not a pushover, So someone who knows how to lead, but leads in a gentle way. That way, like, he becomes a safe space for me, as I will be for him. And that's really important to me, because I want to lean on my partner as I make decisions in life. I want to lean on my partner as I consider what I want to do with my business. I want to lean on my partner as I think about expanding like my real estate empire, and ultimately it will be our real estate empire. And I don't want to feel like I have to make all these decisions on my own, someone who thinks logically, someone who understands me well enough to give me sound advice that I actually respect, And so for me, someone who doesn't have their own sense of self, someone who doesn't have their own mindset, someone that doesn't walk to the beat of their own drum isn't going to work for me as a woman, because I do. And you're going to want to confine to what everybody else is doing, and I'm going to have to leave you, because that doesn't work for me. We can define our normal together, And so that is one of my core values, is a gentle and kind man who knows who he is at his core, because that unlocks a level of freedom within himself, which allows me to be free as his partner, as his woman, And just to give an example of what that did not look like when it comes to dating, is I had ended up meeting this guy out with my friends a couple of months ago. And he was really nice at first conversation. Like, I accidentally stepped on his foot. We were like at a lounge. And it was crowded, but not, we had a section, and I hate when people say sections. We had a table, and he was sitting right next to the table, and it was towards the end of the night, so like all this area was kind of clearing out. And so like he had moved, my friend had left, and then like he had moved to where she was sitting. And so like I'm trying to like get behind the table so I can sit down, and I actually accidentally like stepped on his foot, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. He was like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm happy that you're sitting down next to me. And I was like, oh, like, thanks. Like, it was a weird compliment, but he was like, I think you're very beautiful. And like, then he started engaging and it was a little more natural. I was like, oh, cool. So long story short, we went on this date. I want to say a couple of days later, we had some phone conversations. Like, I was like, I'm looking forward to seeing him. So the date went well. We hung out a couple of days after that. And when he saw me, he like kissed me aggressively and like stuck his tongue down my throat and like stuck his hand down my pants. And I was just so uncomfortable. And I was like, sir, who are you? Like, you did a complete 180 from the first time that we met. Like, even the first date, like, you being real aggressive, and I don't like that. I don't like aggressive ass men. And he was aggressive. And he apologized after, but like, I felt like nothing was ever the same. And he and I don't talk to this day. Like, and I felt like I blocked him, but like, I had to let you know, like, I'm not okay with that. Like, I don't know if you have been drinking before you met up with me, but like, that's not how I move. And if that's how you moving, then I need to move around because I'm not that kind of girl. It takes time to kind of build that kind of level of intimacy. So stand firm on your core values, stick to them, and say no to anybody who ain't willing to respect them, okay? Strategy 2 is to do more listening than talking. And this took a long time for me because I'm naturally a talker. Look, and y'all listening to me talk on YouTube or on TikTok or wherever this ends up. And I feel like a man is literally going to show you who he is over time by just listening to what he has to say. And that also will show you where his mind is, where his mindset is, where he is in his life. All of that's literally going to come out naturally and authentically with conversation. So because I'm so clear on where I'm headed, I'm often listening for certain things. And I never tell a guy what this is. I'd rather you just be who you are and I decide whether I like that or not. But it has gotten so much more easier for me to clock something or clock someone and be like, oh yeah, I like that. Or like, that ain't gonna work for me. You know, and depending on what it is, like we can discuss it. Or if it's like a hard boundary, a hard no, then I know that I need to move around. And so for me, as I'm listening and having these conversations, I'm listening for his mindset. I'm listening for his values. I'm listening for what he believes in. I'm listening for what he represents as a man, and either I'm going to like those things or I'm going to have questions about them or I'm not going to like them. And so you just continue to collect more data, which is literally what dating is, like, and decide from there. So I think as clear as I am though, I don't know if I'll ever be one of those girls who meets a man and gets married in 6 months. Like, I know a lot of the girls do that, and I know the more clarity you have, the easier it is for you to kind of make moves. I'm not going to be that girl. And who knows? I may end up recording a video in the future and I'm not going to show y'all my husband. But I'm going to talk to y'all about my husband and you're going to be like, girl, you told us you wasn't going to do that in 6 months. And look at me doing it in 6 months. But if I can think about the way I want it to unfold, like I would want us to be together for like 2 years, you know, and get engaged at year 2 versus getting engaged at 6 months. Like that just feels very aggressive. But shout out to the girls who do that. It's just not me. And so another thing that I've learned though is that every good man ain't gonna be the man for you. Like I mentioned, I've had some really good dating experiences lately, but it hasn't been a perfect fit. And I don't know if I'm even looking for a perfect fit, but I'm so clear on like who I am, where I'm headed, what works for me from a lifestyle perspective, that anything that crosses my heart boundaries has to move around, you know? And so I feel like the more clear you get on who you are and what you want and where your life is headed, the easier it's going to be for you to select that in a partner, in your man or your woman. Otherwise, people will define it for you. And that's how people get lost in their relationships, lost in their marriage, lost in all this stuff. Like, I'm not easily persuaded. I never was, you know, and the more clear and confident I get as a woman, especially a woman with her own bag, it's harder for you to tell me what you think is going to be. Give me your opinion, but ultimately I'm going to decide whether I like it or not on my own accord. So that's strategy 2. And then strategy 3, which is most important in my opinion, is to not feel obligated to do anything in return just because they spent money on you. And I added here, in the early stages, I don't ask a man for anything. Like, I don't tell a man what I'm looking for. I don't tell a man what I expect. I don't tell a man to do anything for me. I always let a man be who he is. And I like to see what he wants to do before I tell him what I'd like for him to do. Like, that's not my place in the early stages. Like, we literally just getting to know each other. I can tell you what I need as we spend more time together, as we determine that we want to take this serious. Otherwise, I'm giving you the game. And I don't want to do that. Like, I want to sit back and observe what you naturally want to do, just like I want you to sit back and observe what I naturally want to do. And we see if there's some alignment authentically, So stop talking. That literally leads to point 2, is to not feel like you have to do anything. You don't have to give up anything. You ain't got to kiss too soon. You ain't got to do none of that. Do the things that you naturally want to do. And I feel like the more you like a person, the more you're going to start to want to, care for them. And until you want that, don't feel pressured to provide them with anything, And so for me, again, I like to sit back and see what they'll naturally want to do. And I hope that they're paying attention to what I naturally want to do. And if there is some gradual interest, I feel like that will happen more and more, and the conversation will unfold naturally. Another thing that I added here is your nervous system. And specifically, is your nervous system at ease around the person that you're dating? And the reason that this is so important is because a woman's intuition is everything. And I feel like we be making excuses for men, whether we're uncertain about them or we think they're a good guy and we try to stick around. And for me, like, that's not enough anymore. Being a good guy isn't enough anymore, because there's a lot of good guys. That doesn't mean you're the guy for me. And so for me, just to give another story time, and these ain't gonna happen when I'm married or when I'm in a relationship. They gonna stop. But anyway, I dated a guy who I thought was like really calm, and it worked for me because as you can see, I'm a little feisty. I'm a fire sign. Like, I'm gonna bring the heat. You feel me? But I know how to be calm when I need to be. Though he was calm, like, he wasn't necessarily a pushover. Like, I felt like he was very comfortable calling me out on my ish. Like, if it was something that happened, like, we were supposed to meet up one night, and I think I was giving him a runaround, and he was like, listen, Jocelyn, like, I was looking forward to seeing you. I told you where I was going to be. I told you where we should meet up, and the fact that it didn't happen is on you, and I clearly communicated with you, and you already had plans, and you were trying to squeeze me in, and I don't like that. And I was like, oh. Okay, well, I apologize. Like, for me, when I'm wrong and you tell me I'm wrong and I respect you, I can respect it, And so because of that, because he was cool calling me out on my ish, I was cool on calling him out on his ish. Like, we really worked well together. And we just had a high level of emotional maturity. And because of that, I think our communication and our comprehension worked well. Like, we were direct, but we had spent so much time together that I didn't take it personal. I think if you would have said all that when I had just met him, I probably would have been like, nigga, what? Bruh. But we have been friends. We have dated, stopped dated, and like still hung out every once in a while. And I really dropped the ball that night. And so for me, I was able to kind of accept it, acknowledge it, and apologize. And like, we're still cool to this day. We're not together, but I always respect him as a man, and I think he respects me as a woman. And so for me, I felt at peace with him. And even through the conflict, I felt like the issue, happened months, years down the line, where we had already built a solid emotional connection. Though we didn't end up together, I respected his opinion, and I respected that he didn't like be hella passive and expect me to read between the lines. Like, no, he said what it was. He said he wasn't happy with it, and I was able to acknowledge that and apologize. So that's what I mean by, your nervous system, and is it at ease around the person that you're dating? Because if it's not, that speaks volumes, and you need to honor your intuition. So those are my 3 strategies, but ultimately what I want for us to take away is that there is so much freedom in being able to do what you want, especially as a woman, a confident woman, a God-fearing woman, and most importantly, a woman with her own bag. Because you will literally settle for less, and you're going to be saying a lot more than you say yes as a result of that. And I personally am okay with that because I have so many other things going on. My life is already full. So unless a man is coming in and making it better, unless he aligns with a lot of the things that I desire for the core values of my partner that are non-negotiables, like, I'm good, baby. I'm good. Do I want you? Yes. But do I need you? No. And at some point, I am going to need my man. But for now, I don't have no man. So I don't need nobody. And when he arrives, then I'll know and we will build something, and it'll be a different kind of need. It'll be like, this is my partner in life. Of course I need his opinion. Of course I need his feedback. Of course I need to feel desired and wanted by him. But until then, baby, we living our best life. Hey, I've created my own soft life, okay? And I want that for the other girls. And so if you are ready to create your own soft life, travel the world, experience the experiences, do all the things, that I have just what you need. And it is my luxury living on a 9-to-5 budget masterclass. And I created this for my 9-to-5 earning girlies who are ready to confidently afford the experiences and trips that you love and not have to lay up under no man to get it. Not have to call your parents to get it. Not have to work 10, 12 jobs to get it. Like, I have mastered the art of free travel. I have mastered the art of a free brunch every month. I have mastered the art of being able to confidently afford the things that I love, like happy hours, concerts, experiences, and not go deeper into debt for them, So that's what the masterclass is about. It's 90 minutes of pure gems. And just to give you an idea of like where you are and like where I can help you go is, you may be afraid to look at your bank statements because you feel like there may be nothing in here, or maybe you overspent. It's also for the girlies who were only taught to just take care of everyone. So the pressure is on you to like always have money. You feel like you don't have anything for you. It's also for the girls who believe the only way to make more money is a second job or getting a raise on your job. It's for the girls who feel like they'll never be able to buy the apartment they want, buy the house that they want, buy the new car they want in this economy. And I'm here to tell you it is possible. And I have so many strategies, so many tips, so many resources in my masterclass that will help you. So there are accounts that literally pay me to go to brunch every month. No extra work required. There are literally resources out there that allow me to travel more for less money, even travel for free, because all of my flights for 2024 have been free. And that's because I've learned how to use my income and the everyday purchases that I make and redeem them for points, which then turns into free travel. Like, I talk about all this in super duper detail. I have this for the girls who want to live a life of luxury without worrying about if you have the funds to afford it. I have this for the girls who want to make more money on the money they already have without trading their time for it, i.e. second job, Uber Eats, scamming, investing, none of that, not risky investments at least. And so like, I want to help you normalize a soft life and be able to confidently afford a soft life. And that is literally what the 90 minutes in my masterclass is all about. So that is linked in the description. And it's for my girls who like experiences, my girls who want to travel, my girls who want to be outside and overseas, So again, no side hustles, no jobs, no second jobs, no risky investments, none of that. And again, it is linked in the description, and the price is going up, okay? Because people have been buying this thing like hotcakes. So that means that there's some good stuff in there. And I'm going to raise the price because I know my worth. You feel me? So grab yours while it's likely $50 right now, before the price goes up. And I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. So just to wrap this up, what are some of your dating do's and don'ts as it relates to dating as a woman with her own bag? So comment below and let's help each other out so that we can meet the men that are for us, that will love us and care for us and cherish us the same way that we desire to love and care for and cherish them as well. So thank you for watching. Let me know which one of these you resonated with the most, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.